from 2014. He died young, but Évariste Galois contributed much to mathematics in his 20 years. He was a genius growing up in France during a time of rebellion and revolution. Born in 1811, Galois had developed ideas regarding groups in mathematics that had never been considered before. He discovered a way of showing that a polynomial was solvable with real numbers. He developed a way of looking at connections of discrete objects organized in groups, and now called group theory. But he also had ideas about justice and fairness, and he embraced republicanism under a monarchy that zealously protected itself. Galois was jailed after failing to toast the king, but his passion, his life's work was mathematics. He begged to share his ideas with others. He tried to go to university. The entrance tests had written and spoken components. Galois twice aced the written tests, but he was a nervous speaker, and some in the panel of examiners ridiculed him before failing him. Twice, Galois was set up by royalists over a prostitute. The girl befriended him, and he was denounced by the royalists. Galois, in defense of her honor, challenged them to a duel. Another math genius, Fourier, recognized Galois' work and promised to send it for an Academy Prize. But before he did, the elderly Fourier died. On the eve of the duel, Galois gave his precious papers to a friend with instructions on who to show them to. Galois was shot in the stomach, and he died the next day. His letters were misplaced for a decade, and when read, his genius was declared. Speaking to his younger brother before dying, he said, "Ne pleure pas, Alfred, j'ai besoin de tout mon courage pour mourir à 20 ans." Don't cry, Alfred. I need all of my courage to die at 20. And the truth then as now is that liars like those who promote anthropogenic global warmism will kill their opponents without mercy. Also in France on this day, in 1944, Nancy Wake parachuted to liaise between British High Command and the Marquis. Nancy was New Zealand-born, 1912, and came to Australia young. Her father left the family for her mother to raise Nancy and her siblings. She went to North Sydney Technical College. She ran away from home at age 16. With £200 that she had inherited from an aunt, she journeyed to New York, then London, where she trained herself as a journalist. In the 1930s, she worked in Paris, and later for Hearst's newspapers as a European correspondent. She witnessed the rise of Adolf Hitler and the Nazi movement and saw roving Nazi gangs randomly beating Jewish men and women in the streets of Vienna. She became a leading figure in the Marquis groups and the French resistance and was one of the Allies' most decorated servicewomen of the war. After the fall of France in 1940, she became a courier for the French resistance and later joined the escape network of Captain Ian Garrow. By 1943, Wake was the Gestapo's most wanted person, with 5 million franc price on her head. After reaching Britain, Wake joined the Special Operations Executive. On the night of the 29th and 30th of April 1944, Wake was parachuted into the Auvergne, becoming a liaison between London and the local Marquis group headed by Captain Henri Tardeva in the forest of Tronquais. From April 1944 until the liberation of France, her 7,000-plus Marquis fought 22,000 SS soldiers, causing 1,400 casualties while suffering only 100 themselves. She was a Liberal Party candidate several times, almost taking H.V. Evatt's seat twice. She had worked for Hearst, who was also born on this day in 1863.